I gotta go. Yeah, thank you so much. Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. I'm Reverend Shearer Ketchum, and so happy to welcome you all here on this beautiful May day. If you're new to here, I hope you received a little thing of popcorn. Thank you for popping in. You can eat your popcorn when you're watching us on the tube if you can't get in here, right? And we'd love to connect with you. There's connection cards where you came in. And also if you're online, there is one on our website. Just fill that out and you can offer suggestions, ask questions, and we'll respond back to you. Also welcoming those that do join us online out in our outside world, our friends over at Jackson and Bay City, and friends up in Canada, and anybody else that might be joining us this morning. We'd love to hear to you. You can write on the chat and YouTube if you're watching us on YouTube. We are a prayer ministry. We have a prayer box over there where you can write your prayer concerns or celebrations, and our prayer team will pray with you for 30 days. And over on the other side, we have a prayer station if you'd like something a little more active. And this is Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, AAPI for short. So we have the flag up here, and we do this every month as part of our inclusion team, just to really educate us on things we didn't learn in school and learning to appreciate all those skills all the different cultures have brought to the United States. And with that, let's affirm our mission statement together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. And this comes out of our vision of seeing a world powerfully transformed through a growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And we know that it's a shared awakening. It's not like finding the right path. As it's sometimes said, there is one light but many lamps. So let us affirm together, the enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. We're now going to enter into a time of song together. Greg will lead us in Oh, Your Presence.
I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. can feel it. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. Oh, your love.
Wow, we're so alive feeling it, feeling that presence. Beautiful job, Greg. It's a great time to go into prayer, praying for our neighbors, ourselves, our world. And one of the things, there's so much going on, I'd like to bring up something to pray about. That's a celebration. And this is the 200th anniversary of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. And the fact that a piece of art can last so long and still be enjoyed, in case you don't know what it is, the band has prepared this little taste test of the Ode, the fourth movement, Ode to Joy. You know, you may not be classic music aficionados. I think we've all heard that. And I mean, just think about that creative nature from 200 years ago, Beethoven, you know, writing this thing, and it still brings us joy today. Yeah, joy, ode to joy. And while we hold that space, let us hold that space for all the things perhaps of a different vibration. The student protests, that they stay peaceful. On all sides, that we use this opportunity to come to new ideas, a synthesis of the thesis and the antithesis to the thesis of it. There's extreme heat happening right now in Southeast Asia, like breaking all kinds of records. And we know there's great stress on the environment there as well as the people, so we hold them in our hearts. And the people in Gaza and in the Sudan right now, besides war, they are literally entered into a famine. So let us hold them in our hearts too. And as we do this, the things I keep visioning is skies that are free of bombs, lands that are fruitful with food, and humans who are being both humankind, being both human and kind. So let's just take a moment to take that into that heart space, that into the vibration of the ode of joy, take it into the vibration of feeling God's presence, and bringing in with us our family around the world. Humans, animals, plants, this beautiful earth, the water, the skies. Just allowing our heart to fill it up with our love, to fill it up with that deep soul sense of peace, as we allow things to evolve to a greater comfort, to a greater harmony, to a greater oneness. And so it is. Amen. Okay, Pam, are you here today? Yes, come on up. She's our newest member. You know what, I've never asked you, do you like to be called Pam or Pamela?
Pam.
Pam, oh good, I like those three-letter words. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to give you 2 stones here, vision stones. And you can hold them for a minute. And, you know, Jesus said, upon this rock, let us build our church. And so the rocks, we invite you to hold a vision for inside this building, both physical and also activity and the feeling in here and what your vision for it is. And the other rock, to hold the vision for the grounds, the outside, what happens there, the beauty that's there, wherever your vision takes you. So just take a moment and allow that to flow through you. And this invite you to add your vision to the visions of all those before you here in this place. Thank you. And no, we get to sing to you. This is the hard part about becoming a member. We get to love you, just send love to you. So, yeah, it won't hurt.
I'll take it.
Really? Okay. Greg, you want to lead us away there?
I behold the Christ in you. Here the life of God I see. I can see a great peace too. I can see you whole and free. I behold the Christ in you. I can see this as you walk. I see this in all you do. I can see this as you talk. I behold God's love expressed. I can see you filled with power. I can see you ever blessed. See Christ in you, hour by hour. I behold the Christ in you. I can see that perfect one, led by God in all you do. I can see God's work is done.
Oh. And it's the first Sunday of the month, so we get to celebrate May birthdays. And DeCarrion's going to come up because he missed his card. His birthday was at the end of April? Yeah. Okay, come on up. And anybody else with May birthdays? Come on up so we can love you up. Oh, this is a Y chromosome month. Yeah. Take the one. There you go. The message for you for this year. No peeking. Yeah. Okay. That's the one you want. Okay, you got her. Let's sing happy birthday to them. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You're wonderful. Happy birthday to you. Yay. Happy birthday. Oh, getting close to those double digits. Wow. Okay, and with that, a little discussion among yourselves at the table. What would you like healed today? What would you like? Oh, if not today, what would you like healed? Let it be big and grand. What would you like healed?
That one's hard. And do you want to think, close to home? Or I'm thinking,
You're not limited to one.
yeah, that's true. I'm thinking, wherever there's people fighting, bring peace there. So I'd like some.
Wouldn't that be a nice healing?
Wouldn't it though?
Yeah.
How about you?
Hamstring.
Oh yeah.
It hurts.
You can't run that marathon.
I know, and I want to really be out there in Boston, running it. And in our ecology thing, I mean, this is just a glimpse of what's happening with these incredible heat waves,
Oh wow.
114 degrees.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
haven't read much about it, but I'm going to.
It's really hitting the Southeast Asia hard.
Deadly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
deadly. Yep, exactly.
Wow. Okay. So
Sounds like
heal
we
it.
all have things to be healed. This is a pretty,
It's true.
I think we got a big list. Yeah. Okay, well, let's make sure everybody feels welcome here.
Yeah. Let's,
Yeah, okay.
Let's sing "My Soul Is Welcome Here."
Swing wide the door, the time is right. That's the wrong song. Can we switch gears here? It almost worked.
We can do it. We'll fix it. No, we can do it.
I meant to change that. Oh, there goes another mistake for the year, and it's only
Yeah.
May. Oh.
But no blame whatsoever. Yeah. I should have been going, I'm in the right place.
At the right time.
That's what it would have been. All right, we're going to do Swing Wide the Doors.
Okay.
Because that's what's on the slideshow.
My mistake is blatant.
There you go. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I've learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Hello? Oh, okay, sorry. Hello. Oh, hi. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Oliver. I'm so glad you guys are back. Good morning. I'm Chrissie Shearer, president of your Board of Trustees. Unity's daily word is joy, inspired by the Psalm 92. For you, God, have made me glad by your work. The works of your hands I sing for joy. Each new day is a treasure filled with life's gems found in even the most ordinary moments. Joy fills our hearts when we pause to notice the wonder that surrounds us. Let our gaze linger as we watch the setting sun, or close our eyes as we savor the sweetness of fresh fruit. The beauty of the world pales in comparison to the beauty within us. We are so deeply and wondrously blessed to know our oneness with God and all that is. There is no greater joy. We wake and praise each new day and feel newly alive. We go into the world to share the joy of being a child of God in the abundant universe. We spread light and love to everyone we meet, trusting they will know divine joy as we do. Let us affirm together. I feel joyous as I celebrate life. As we celebrate the Asian American Heritage Month, one of our co-founders of YouTube is Steve Chang, who was born in Taiwan and immigrated to America when he was 15. From an immigrant that had difficulty with English, Steve and his partner, Jod, found YouTube a platform that revolutionized the way people consume and share video content online. Steve acknowledged the inner joy does not come from outer measurements, but that true success comes from following your passion and staying true to yourself. YouTube co-founder Jod Karim has his origins in Bangladesh and German. The American software engineer, he maintains a joyful approach to life. He said, "Make friends with yourself and you'll never be alone." Oh, one more, sorry. Let us continue in a joyful state of mind with some special music. Our guest singer today was a welcomed regular when Unity was at Marshall Street. Let's give Ken Herring a special warm welcome back.
Good morning. I see a lot of friends out here. It's been a long time. Get to work with Jeff and the band here. That's great. Be fun. When you walk through the storm, hold your head up high. And don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the road, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. When you walk through the storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the road, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song
Welcome back. That was what I heard you did. Shake the rafters with that voice. There was a man at work, and he was telling one of his coworkers that his boss was just killing him with all the stress. He says, it is so bad here at work. I get migraines, my blood pressure has shot up high. I'm now on blood pressure medication. I can't sleep. I found out yesterday I have an ulcer. The only question that I have left is, am I going to die at work from a stroke or a heart attack? His coworker said to him, if it's that bad, why don't you quit the job and get something else? And he says, well, gee, I have a great health plan here. None of us would ever be that off, right? We would know when to let go, when to let go. So there are some great health plans in Unity. And on your table, there's a booklet that I put out. It's a new booklet from Unity called Healing 1,000 Different Ways. So you're welcome to take that home with you and share great little stories and their great ideas. But we're going to talk about health for the next 5 weeks. Unity was founded about healing. And healing involves a whole bunch of things, not just our body and minds, but anything that's in dis-ease, not in harmony, if you will. Rachel Naomi Remen, some of you may have read some of her books, and she said, we heal each other all the time and don't even realize we're doing it. Healing comes out of the very simple human relationship, knowing that your life matters to another person, and connecting to something larger and unseen. Kind of the natural things that we do all the time. So one of our co-founders of Unity was Myrtle Fillmore, and really her story is about healing. When she was born, she was told she was a sickly child. She had what they called tuberculosis, but that was one of those, who knows exactly what it was. They kind of used that term for a lot of different things. And then when she was out, a lot of times they did church outside. She was raised Methodist, and they'd be out in the field, and she would get bored listening to the preacher. And so she'd be looking at nature, and it struck her one day, she's looking in the dirt, this little worm, and she goes, what makes a worm and a man a man? And she got it, that there was some intelligence within cells of life that knows what it's supposed to be. I mean, as a kid, she got this. I'm just getting it in my later years. There's something in there. And so she did a lot of work on thinking about her spirituality, and she met Charles Fillmore, and they got married, and they started Unity. And as they were moving through the beginnings of Unity, they went to a lecture one night. They were trying to find that healer, that answer on how she could be healed, because she was given 6 months to live. And at this lecture by E.B. Weeks, she heard the words, I am a child of God, I do not inherit sickness. And for some reason, those words just went right on home to her. And she spent the next 2 years praying in a closet underneath their stairwell. She took quite a few hours praying. It wasn't abracadabra, boom, I'm healed. This was some work done, because for years she had held the thoughts that she was sickly. So when she started her prayer work, she started apologizing to every organ of her body for thinking it being less than what it was, saying she was sorry. And I said, I just had this vision that one day Charles goes, geez, it's a year later and you're still with us, Myrtle. Something's happening, So she intuitively got onto this thing of the way we think about our bodies has an impact on the health of our bodies, a very measurable physical impact, if you would. So then she said, as she was developing this deeper relationship with Spirit, she said, to me, the messages came then from divine Spirit more direct than through human messengers. She knew that what she could hear inside was so much more pertinent to her than any minister, than any teacher, that divine physician within. So that was one of the really key points, prayer and healing at the start of Unity back in the 1800s. More recently, some of you may have read the books by Larry Dossey. He was a physician and an author. He wrote Healing Words, The Power of Prayer and the Practice of Medicine. I love those two things juxtaposed. So he really got that to have a physical healing, how important prayer was, and spirituality for the physical body to heal. Now, when he came out with this stuff, because he is a doctor and is very controversial, a lot of his colleagues criticized him, said he was woo-woo, off the wall, and other ones said, yeah, you nailed it. This is just so important to combine the two. So what he did is, in his practice, his medical practice, he combined his spirituality. And the way he did that, because you don't want to impose your beliefs on somebody else, he burned some incense in his office before his surgery day started, especially. In fact, one day he had so much burning it set off the smoke alarm, and the fire people weren't real happy when they found out why they got called off. And and this is not unusual for a doctor to include spirituality in their practice. A friend of mine in Canada is a surgeon for animals. And before every surgery, she stands over the animal and prays. It's just the most touching thing. She talks to the animal. She becomes connected so that to minimize the bumps in the road, that you're kind of in tune together. And there are a number of doctors that do this, that have this connection that's more than the intellect. The patient is asleep, but there's a realm of consciousness that's greater than anything that's physical happening right in that moment. His prayer was always, "Thy will be done." Like, we never know what is our divine purpose, what is our pathway, whether our pathway is to be healed of this disease or to succumb to it. There's things that we just don't know. Our life is not linear, and our life is not like mathematics, though it operates by laws. There are things and dimensions and realms that we just don't have a grasp of yet. So is it either or? Is it either spirituality or medical practices? Do you use a logical, rational approach? Or is it the irrational, superstitious, religious approach, the woo-woo approach? And we're really finding out that science and spirituality are dovetailing. I mean, we use different languages, and we're coming to this point of intersection time and time again. I mean, we talked about energy, my family, for years. And now we can measure energy. We know about the quantum theories. We know that we have an energy that we exude. They can take pictures of it with curling photography. We know this, and then science caught up. And they go, oh my goodness, there's these little things floating around. There's nothing, but they're just energy. There's no things. And, so it's not an either or. It's really a melding of the two ideas. So many times, I was taught as a child that prayer would fix it if I prayed right, if I did the right things. It's really kind of a perverse approach to prayer. It leads to a lot of disappointment and a lot of guilt, if you will. I mean, think about this God that we were taught was very far away from us, way out there in the universe, to answer all these prayers. It would just be, a constant floating thing. Okay, that stretches my imagination. I can let that go. That's possible. But what about prayers on both sides of the conflict? On Friday night, both football teams pray to win. Yeah. Right? I mean, they both do. So how does that work if prayer is supposed to guarantee you the outcome that you want? So all of a sudden we're kind of feeling things aren't quite synchronizing with us. It doesn't make sense, if it will. And so prayers are not uniformly answered. You can do a prayer one time and, oh my goodness, look at that. I found the parking place right where I needed it. And the next time you're out in the back of the parking lot, you got to walk forever. So what is the difference when I affirm this time and when I affirm that time? What is happening here? We just don't have the depth of understanding of how prayer works, in other words, how our energy works in connecting with the idea of oneness. Dossie put out that maybe we're not wise enough to handle prayers that are answered every time. I mean, think about it. I'm sure there's not one of us in this room that hasn't spontaneously cursed someone or something in the moment that it's like being hit in the shins. You have this reaction, right? And, thank God that prayer wasn't answered, right? Thank goodness this didn't come to fruition. I was just in a moment of wild emotion, not really in my senses, if you will. So there is no formula. There is no perfect prayer. In fact, when I was working with Silent Unity, we were part of a Templeton study to see the effect of prayer. And they used Silent Unity people, 24/7 prayer. They used a nunnery that did a lot of prayer work, and there was another group, I can't remember which faith community it was. And they used these patients that all had the same condition. It was a heart thing, surgery, I can't remember what one it was right now, that were prayed for. And they found that no matter which group prayed for them, the outcome was the same. It was an improved stay in the hospital. They got out sooner, several days sooner than those that weren't prayed for. So it's not like there's a formula, there's not a right way. It's about an intention. It's that part that is so beyond our mind, getting down into that heart space to be able to do that. So we know there's no formula. So how do we work with prayer and with healing? What prayer does do, we enter into it. It says about who we are. It says about our destiny. It says that we are open to that oneness. And whenever I talk about prayer and healing, I just go back. In 2011, my daughter had a very serious car accident. She had 2 brain bleeds, and she was unconscious. She had what's called a Barbie foot. One side of the body, the foot looks like a Barbie doll. You can't move it. And Facebook in 2011 was just starting, right? You know. And as I sat there next to her bed, and people around the world through Facebook heard about Dallas's accident, and every time it dinged, I knew a prayer was being said. And what I felt in that moment was like this blanket of energy that came over the hospital. That was energy that anybody could tap into if they were ready. It wasn't a laser thing that only went from this person to Dallas. It was healing energy that went out into the world to anybody that needed that energy and were willing to take that energy into themselves. Just like when we prayed for the world this morning, as we send out those loving vibes. We don't know the name, we don't know even where they are, but somebody's most likely felt a little lift, felt maybe a spark of hope, where maybe it all felt like darkness before. So in the Western prayers, the cultural prayers that we're sometimes raised with is this externalization of God, that God is out there. The Sears and Roebuck catalog, that if you order right, you know, you get this thing. And really, when you externalize God, there's a really devaluation of human nature, that we don't have the power or the capacity to really live into our purpose, to live into our wholeness, if you will. Joseph Campbell calls this kind of approach in our Western culture pathological mythology. That we have created some magic thing out there that we are subject to, not a part of, not connected to. And if you live with that kind of thing, with that kind of lack of power, where you're giving it away to this myth of something out there, what does that leave you? You know, you're simply like a puppet. You're a victim mentality. That comes with that really well. So think about our personal prayer evolution. I prayed, you know, I started out, like I'm sure a lot of you, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep if I should die before I wake. I pray the Lord my soul to take. And then I started asking what die meant. That was just an awful thing to put into your mind as you go to bed. But as we evolve our mythology isn't a lie. It's trying to explain truths that are too great for logic. So the myths to explain something that is so deep it's beyond words. So our mythology has to evolve, or else it's going to fail. It's going to die off, if you will. And if we believe our ideas about prayer are complete with now I lay me down to sleep, if we don't evolve these ideas, they also die. They don't prove out, if you will. They just become illogical. And if we hadn't made that spiritual connection to allow ourselves to grow, to be on that spiritual journey, we have lost that wonderful tool of prayer, that wonderful tool of connection. You know, it's not that we were wrong as a child. It's just that we evolve, we grow on what that is. So thinking about what are our beliefs about prayer? What are our beliefs about healing? What are our beliefs about our relationship to us as individuals and the world around us? There was this woman who was a servant for this family, and she had to have quite a serious operation. And so the family, they really loved her, and they wanted her to recover, so they took her up to their vacation home and said, you know, you stay here for a week. And the woman was a Yundi woman, and she gave her this list of affirmations to say every day about her body so that she'd have a great recovery. And they left her there for a week to recover. And they come back a week later to pick her up, and he goes, boy, you look great. You've had a wonderful recovery. You must have been using those affirmations. And she goes, those affirmations, it was too many of them. It was too confusing. I just got up every morning, looked in the mirror, and said, Ah, hell, I'm well. See, it's not about the words, it's not about the formula. It's about, ah, hell, I'm well. You know, what are you gonna argue with me about that, right? So spirituality is not an immunization. The Buddha died from food poisoning. Krishnamurti died of pancreatic cancer. Suzuki Roshi died of liver cancer. Sir Raman Maharsh died of stomach cancer. These are all great spiritual leaders. Just because you're living a spiritual life does not mean that you do not get sick. I know at the end of my time in ministerial school after ordination, one of our classmates was diagnosed right after, like the next week, with stage 4 cancer. And I was so angry because I thought, we have given up part of our life, we left our family, we came away to school, don't we get a little pass here for a while? Isn't there, you know, like a handicap? And for the next 10 years, we lost one of our classmates every year. And coming to terms with that just because you devoted your life to something or made these decisions to do good work does not give you immunization from having all of human experience, and that includes illness. So is illness a teaching device? Is it a final test we go through? Those are questions we all have to ask ourselves because it means something different for each and every one of us that goes through a health challenge. One of the common things is, what did you do wrong that you're sick? You know, you didn't take your vitamins, you didn't do your exercise, whatever that might be. So being holy, quote, doesn't guarantee good health. And bad health doesn't imply that you're doing something wrong, that you have some spiritual shortcomings, that your character is less than. Jesus was asked, and this question has been going on for years, it's reported in John that Jesus was asked, there was a blind man, he said, who sinned that made this man blind? Was it him or his parents? And, you know, just born. So he was born blind. And Jesus said, nobody has sinned. Nobody has made an error. It's just the works of God. In other words, it's just, this too is health. You know, so many times we think of health as looking perfect like an ad, where health is whatever condition our body's expressing in at this moment. It's not a punishment. It is just what it is. So illness can be seen as a path towards spirituality. There are so many people that have been through really dire illnesses, and though they wouldn't have wished it on them, what happened to them internally was just an amazing awakening, that their knowing was deepened. I'm not going to say faith. It was a knowing that was deepened in ways they never could have imagined. And you know, you've been out there, you see people eat unhealthy who smoke and they live to be 100. You know, they drink, they don't do anything right. And there are other people that do everything right, and then they get this awful disease. It doesn't make sense to our logical mind, because this is not where we're dealing. It's not in our head, not in our mind. But there is a real guilt for illness. You especially saw it during COVID. Everybody felt guilty if they got COVID. They didn't want to tell anybody they had it, right? And there are a lot of people, unity is that. If there's any dark side to unity, it's how we deal with our illness. We don't want to let people know because somehow we feel we did something wrong, that we're supposed to be perfect and happy all the time. Nothing should be broken, or else it just shows, we did something, we didn't think the right thought, we did the wrong, whatever that might be going through our mind, whatever our belief has evolved to at that moment, that guilt of illness. And if you look around us, nature has illness all the time. Plants and animals. And they live with it in a different way. Plants find ways to protect the healthy part from the diseased part. They will close off stems and like that. Animals each of them have their own different ways. But then when you get to humans, we get frantic. I got to heal this, because it's like having a big black mark on your head. I'm wrong, I'm broken or something. What's the right answer? Where can I go? What's the best thing to take? I mean, you just get really frantic about finding that answer, finding the way to solve this problem. And I think sometimes the problem with trying to solve the problem is many diseases are actually life. Cancer is a life form. When we talk about fighting a disease, we're talking about fighting life, which is the very thing we're trying to protect. So it's about learning to evolve about you know, this is a resident in our body that is not paying rent. We would like it to leave. We would like an eviction notice as opposed to a fight. You know, a moving on notice. Here's a better place for this energy to be vibrating in the universe. Maybe some place where it could do some good. And it kind of reminds me of this frantic quality. I mean, we try everything. Magnets were really big for a while back. And this woman one day was looking at her fridge. It was covered with magnets. Did you ever get to that point? She goes, boy, if this magnet thing really works, this fridge will never break down. So whatever formula we have for our own personal healing, it has to come from within us. When we do things, what happens is when we actually do something, we limit the realms of possibility, so it actually recedes. When we allow ourselves to be in that realm of possibility, the energy expands because there is no walls or blocks on it. Now, there's a time when you need to do, but to really start to find that formula, you need to be able to expand so that your mind isn't cutting out the very thing that might help you, allowing yourself to be. Larry Dossey went through a thing that was very similar to the story of Job in the Bible. Dossey got a herniated disc. There's a few of you that probably have experienced that. It hurts like the dickens. Job, on the other hand, the story goes, he lost his livelihood, his home, his family, and finally he lost his health. Things weren't looking pretty good. So with Dossey, his friends, of course, you know, he'd been dealing with this kind of spirituality and medicine, gave him all this advice. Some of it weird, some of it homeopathic. Yeah, he's heard about that before. It was just a whole array of advice. With Job, as he's out with sores all over his body, his friends come to him and get down with him. And, you know, I love you, buddy, but what'd you do wrong? You wouldn't have this if you didn't do something wrong. I know. You can tell me. Come on, make it right with God. You know, make amends, whatever you might do there. Both of them end up in solitude. Larry went into solitude because he had to stop all the noises. He had to stop this thing of the right path and everybody's advice. He was on his path. He needed to go within to know what to do. Job, the same way, went within to find out what to do. And what happened with Job is he really got a deeper relationship with spirit. He went beyond the outer physical and had this beautiful new relationship, and everything was restored in the story. Larry made a decision to have surgery. And when he did, what do you think his friends that were into homeopathic and special things said? You're a sellout. You're a wimp. You know, why did you do that? Why didn't you try all these other things? Because his inner guidance told him this is what he needed. Wasn't easy. Probably cost him a few friends in it. It is certainly not a lesson he would have chosen, just like I don't think Job would have chosen to lose his family and his livestock and everything. But it had an impact because it took him into that solitude. There's a Buddhist teacher that says anything you do deeply is very lonely. That inner work, the work that expands, is solitude. We can only do it within ourselves. So healing, individual path, there's no formula, there's no right answer, there's only your answer. Disease is not a punishment. God is in everything. We talk about that. It's in our prayers, it's in the medical machines, it's in herbal remedies, it's in pills. There is no place where God is not. We talk about the oneness. This includes all of it. So it's about finding what works for us in that situation, not an either or, but following our path of guidance. So with that, let's take a little time to go into some meditation. Let's invite you to close your eyes. Let's slip back into that ode of joy. Let's slip back into that knowing the presence, feeling it, breathing it. Knowing that we are seeing through divine eyes. We are breathing the cosmos. We are vibrating at the speed of us. So take a deep breath and allow ourselves to consciously connect with our body. This miracle that we inhabit day in and day out. This masterpiece that carries on doing so many things to provide us with this human experience. Hearts beating, lungs expanding and contracting, kidneys filtering and cleaning, all the way down to individual cells, that each has the wisdom to know exactly what is theirs to do. To take in nourishment, to release waste, to connect to other cells, other nerves, fiber to fiber, so that in our experience as a human, it appears to be seamless, wonderfully seamless and in harmony. For any part that is out of harmony in this moment, we acknowledge that there is a wisdom within that very cell, that very organ, that knows how to heal. That every remedy, every practitioner that we bring into our sphere knows the truth that ultimately it is only our body that can heal itself. The broken leg may appreciate the cast, but it's the leg that grows the bone. The kidney that is having difficulty functioning may appreciate the boost of a medication, a helping hand, until ultimately it remembers the wisdom within it. So this morning we simply stand in appreciation of this miracle that we are. And I invite you to open your eyes to affirm with me, my body is a temple of the living universe. I accept full responsibility for its care. I balance the knowledge of metaphysics with physical practices which are most effective for my body. Real health is not a matter of defeating illness, but of releasing wellness. My body has a super wisdom that is biased on the side of life. I affirm there is always an allness, even within any illness. And so it is. Amen. Though it's singular, we can only do it together. but a good thing to remember. You're having trouble getting sound? Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Spiritual practice for the week. If you're in need of healing, make an appointment within. Okay, with that, I get to invite Ken back up here to give us a little healing to those wonderful vibrations. And you're doing one of Lucille's. Do a little Lucille.
You know, I've known Lucille for 44 years.
Oh.
Even though everybody thinks she's 39, but you know, I got to make you aware of it that she's not. But I've sung this song everywhere, and everybody loves it up north, you know, and so forth. It'd be great to do it with Jeff and the band. This is one of the first times she's ever not done it with me, but you know. Let it go, holding on will stop the flow. Don't hang on to this problem, let it go. You have wrestled with it long, so you know you're not King Kong. Let this problem have its freedom, let it go. We think we know the secret of how things ought to be. Our dreams and schemes important to our personality. But when things just start working out, frustration wears you down. Know that there's a better way to get you higher and from. Let it go, holding on will stop the flow. Don't hang on to this problem, let it go. You have wrestled with it long, so you know you're not King Kong. Let this problem have its freedom, let it go.
The tide of life does take me right where I need to be. Trusting is the key to knowing just what's right for me. This problem is a gift, let it go, set it adrift. It will bless me when I finally set this problem free.
Let it go, holding on will stop the flow. Don't hang on to this problem, let it go. You have wrestled with it long, so you know you're not King Kong. Let this problem have its freedom, let it go. I've worried and I've fretted about who and what and how. And on my face I'm wearing an unsightly furrowed brow. And I don't want to go through life creating all this pain. Letting go's the only way to joy keep me safe. Let it go, holding on to stop the flow. Don't hang on to this problem, let it go. You have wrestled with it long, so you know you're not King Kong. Let this problem have its freedom, let it. One more time. Let it go, holding on will stop the flow. Don't hang on to this problem, let it go. You have wrestled with it long, so you know you're not King Kong. Let this problem have its freedom. Let it go.
Wow. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Lucille. Thank you, band. That was wonderful. All right, now is the time for our sacred circle of generosity. This is when we share the blessings that we've received. Now we know that the gift that we give is not a debt that we owe. It's the seed that we sow to form the consciousness of abundance. So as you give, you will receive. So if you're donating with either cash or check or, solid currency, place your gift in the glass jar on the table. And if you're donating electronically, there's the QR codes. And you can place your hand over the jar or over your heart, or you can use one of the tokens. I like the tokens myself. And just bless into that token and let that energy flow. So, we bless our gifts as we share our love and our treasure by affirming together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Thank you. All right, entering the circle of generosity, we thank everyone for their continued generosity of support of Unity through the many different channels that we have, electronically, mail, in person, what have you. And this includes acts of gratitude for these gifts and by sharing our gifts with others. So, with the tithes of the second quarter, we're sharing with the Southside Community Kitchen, which is a group of local organizations who have gotten together to feed the hungry people of Lansing. This is a wonderful organization. It's great that we are helping them help the community. We'll continue to acknowledge blessings by singing, I am so blessed. And you are too, not just me. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Thank you. Derek, come on down. All right. So now let's read this. We're going to read together the Circle of Generosity. Are you ready? All right, let's go.
Given in love,
Received in love,
we
dedicate these gifts to do the will and work of Holy Spirit. And so it is. Amen. Good job. All right, today at noon, Dan and Carol Maynard are kicking off an introduction to a June event called Passion of the Creative Mind. This is going to be awesome. All right, who here is creative?
All of us.
Everyone is. If you think you're not creative, it's just because you got a thing. You're creative. All of you are. This is a place where you can practice that creativity. You can bring that out and share it with community. And that's what this is all about. Everyone is welcome to join and explore how our inner creativity is a direct pathway to our spiritual connection. So this session that's today at noon, where Dan and Carol are going to talk more about this and get you excited about this. This is going to be really awesome. And this is replacing the regular Course of Miracles for this session. Just so you know, this is for Passion of the Creative Mind.
I just want to say, you can enter more than once. You can enter any of the passions.
They don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't hear.
Wait till the next slide, Dan.
Oh, okay, sorry.
All right, where are we? All right. So we need your help. Speaking of the passion of the creative mind, your help is needed. Okay, I already said that. So what we're looking for is submissions. On your table, there's a flyer that has information about this event. There's a number of QR codes. If you need help, ask someone and we can help you use the QR codes. What you can do with this is if you videotape yourself doing something creative, like if you create film, if you want to read a short story or poetry, or a skit, or improv, or something like that, right? You can have someone take a video of you and submit that video using these QR codes. And there's more information on this sheet here. We are also looking for volunteers. We need a greeter, we need staff people for the actual event. And there's a sign-up list on the credenza right over here, or you can talk to Dan or Carol Maynard. Right there, yep. We all know Dan. Awesome. And finally, mark your calendar for June 20th, 21st, and 22nd. This is an incredible 3 days of sharing and learning about many different forms of art. The Passion of the Creative Mind ends with a music concert featuring Capital City Brass Band and an educational performance from our friends at Stogood. Right? This is going to be spectacular. All right. I think that's all of that for that. Okay. Take this sheet home. Share it with your friends. We really need submissions. We need people to start turning out for this. And this is going to be wonderful. All right. Let's see. The new May Unity Pulse. Unity Pulse has lots of information in it. It's on your table. You can also get all of this information online. It's a two-sided, it's actually four sides. Oh, yeah. Two-sided flyer of the creative mind, four-sided on Unity Pulse. One side, on Creative Mind, one side is how to make submissions, and that's this side with the QR codes. And the other side has details about the event. Take it. Posters. Posters for the event are on the information rack as well as on our website. So you can go to unitylansing.org for more information on that. All right. And next is the peace song. Here we go. Let's stand as we are able and create a circle of consciousness as we sing the peace song, followed by the prayer of protection. Now, you don't have to hold hands. It's great if you want to, but please respect your neighbor if they do not wish to hold hands. We do not want to pass germs that we don't have to.
Let there be God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Thank you.